Welcome to the mic, it's the Dennis Byron Show. Breaking headlines, truth in every flow. From courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Dennis Byron Show. 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 Dennis Byron Show. The Dennis Byron Show. Dennis Byron Show. The Dennis Byron Show. Dennis Byron Show. Welcome to the mic, it's the Dennis Byron Show. Breaking headlines, truth in every flow. From courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Dennis Byron Show.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. First and foremost, put a one in the chat if you hear the sound of my voice. We are back. We are back. And as my guy says, we are back again. All right, so first and foremost, before I talk about the topic of the morning, there are a few topics I want to talk about. And this is one of them. This is one of them just because I know both of these individuals, and I've had personal experience myself in dealing with similar type of bottom feeders, and not these two, but I don't want to give the bottom feeders that type of shine by saying those in particular. I don't want to do that, but I want to make sure the message is clear. We see you. We see what you're doing. We see what you're doing. Now, you have several that have fallen below the radar in their behavior. Several will never rise above the level where they're going to get that attention. Because how do you prevent them from getting that type of attention? Is you just don't talk about them. But we see you and see what you're doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I get into some things, I want to shout out my man, my hip hop brethren, my son, the General. He was just tapped 2 days ago to work on the transition team for the newly elected New York City Mayor, Madami. Zohan Madami is doing something I have not seen any New York City mayor do ever. He is truly reaching into the culture of hip hop and bringing them on this transition team. And while many of you are not from New York City, I am from New York City. Not only has he reached and pulled my brother, my son, the General up, but he has also reached and pulled my little sister up, Tamika Mallory. And I will be on the phone with them later today discussing some things. I've seen both of them on the front line of some of the most horrific stories that has affected the Black community. And they're not just talking about going after the police when they do wrong. They are also highlighting, and in particular, my son, the General, is highlighting those individuals that are in the Black community that have done some awful things. So the conversation has been had by both of them, addressing two very important issues in the Black community. So once again, shout out to the newly elected mayor who will be taking office in less than 30 days, Zohan Madami, as well as my brother and sister, Tamika Mallory, and my son, the General. And we see what you did, New York Post. You tried to slam my brother, call him a crime boss. I would say, respectfully, I've stopped reading the Post over 20 years ago. I've stopped reading them because I know what they stand for. So I stopped reading them. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to talk about another quick topic. And this involves, this may need a whole separate stream. But in any event, Mayor Zohar Madami is pretty much on the forefront right now of mayors around the country. But we have a vice president who has jumped into hip hop. Let's say I guess he jumped in the hip hop circle for a minute. He tweeted, and I was surprised to see this. He tweeted, Nique is greater than Cardi. Wait a minute. Nique is greater than Cardi? And people will debate that. They will debate that. But the fact that the vice president of these United States had the time to tweet such a, I don't know what to call it. I mean, this is not, they're not, we're not in the middle of a political race and they need to galvanize the major figures in hip hop to support them. But he's a sitting vice president. There are major healthcare issues in America, and the funding is just not there. But there's over 1 million people that are unemployed right now. And he's tweeting, Nique is greater than Cardi? Really? America's just so unserious right now. The American government is just so unserious right now. And the fact that he has the time to do that is crazy. But I'm going to get on camera right now. We're going to get on camera. We want to talk about this particular topic real quick. I'm not going to be here too long. Oh, wait a minute. Before I get on camera, well, actually, I will get on camera, but I want to share some things here. Hold on. I don't think I can play it now, the music, just because it is everywhere. I don't think I can play this right now. And you'll say, well, Mr. Byron, what is it that you can't play? First of all, hold on a second here. Get that camera over here. Here we go. All right. Okay, guys. Good morning. So, what I can't play right now, I think I can play it because I still get revenue from it. So I want to share this video real quick. I want to share this video because my artist dropped her song last night. It's part of my song too. So let's just play this real quick. Let's get into the holiday spirit. Let's have a little love here before we go into this crazy story. Let's go.
The Christmas lights, yeah, all I want, all I need is you, my holiday love. Here's to the nights we made it through. Here's to the dreams we're still holding to. If the world gets cold, I want your soul. Long as I have you to hold.
Oh yeah, yes. Holiday Love dropped at midnight. Available on all streaming platforms. All streaming platforms. If you don't believe me, let's do a test. Alexa, play Holiday Love by Capricorn Anderson.
Here's Holiday Love by Capricorn Anderson on Amazon Music.
Alexa, pause. Okay. All right, so go ahead, download the music, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, or wherever you get your music from. It's there. It's live. It's live. And we got a few other good things coming down the pipeline very soon. We're shooting a music video, just waiting for the casting to be completed. but we're shooting a music video here in Atlanta. So if you are someone that is talented in the areas of hair and makeup, shoot me an email at info@Byron Media Group. Let's see your portfolio. Let's see what you got, what you're working with. I will be directing the video. So that's a plus. This is not my first video that I've directed, but this one's special to me because I want to make sure the story is told the right way. I've reached out to one person in particular, but she's on the West Coast. I want her to be in the video. And when you see the treat me like, oh, Mr. Byron, this is pretty hot. But let's talk about this story here. Let me go ahead and remove this video and talk about this unfortunate situation that's happening in these YouTube streets. So probably within the last week, there have been videos popping up. It's actually during the Milagro Grams Megan Thee Stallion trial, I saw some weird stuff happening. I saw it happening between one individual who should have probably been at the courthouse covering the story exclusively, started kind of picking on some of the content creators. And why I say picking on them, because I saw at least 2 to 3, maybe 4 people that this individual had been discussing. And I was wondering, what does this have to do with the trial itself? And why is this individual doing these things to these content creators who are just there to cover the trial, the federal trial of Megan Pete and Milagro Cooper? And reason why it concerned me is because I've covered many trials, as you know, in the past. And most of those 99.9% of the trials I've covered, there were, I want to say almost 100%, because I can't recall. Sometimes you see some camera people that, they may, hey, listen, you got to shift your camera over a little bit, or we need to set the spot up right here. But not to a point where it becomes a personal attack against people out there outside trying to work and get the story done. You don't see that. And then I said to myself, okay, I know for a fact that the individual that was being attacked came out there solely to work. Anytime you have to spend your resources to do a job, you don't have time for the nonsense, because it's your resources that you're spending. And it would be like putting good money into bad money by engaging in things that it's not going to bring you the results that you want. And hopefully those results are getting the story. So I saw this individual attack an attorney. Says some of the most horrible things about an attorney there. Then he started attacking a content creator. Some say that he may have been trying to bait this content creator, Arman Wiggins, into a fight. But I said to myself, listen, if you're two in a closed room, there was space and opportunity. So I think that was just nonsense. If you're in a bathroom with someone and you got beef with them, you can settle it right there. Now, I don't know how it would end up. You might be sitting in a federal lockup, but I mean, if you really have beef with someone and you feel that that person is threatening you, you might have to put those paws on that person. I don't know. I'm not an advocate of violence. I'm an advocate of defending against violence. I'm an advocate for that. But I don't say go out and start fights with people. No, I don't do that. I didn't do that when I was young. I'm not going to do it in my age now. I'm not going to do that. But it's getting to a point where some have to take measures to protect themselves. Just think about this. You get up to go to work every day, and you have a coworker that's just fucking with you. What are you going to do? You're going to go to human resources, you're going to file a complaint, or you're going to go to your direct manager and let them know that this is the issue you have. But when you're an independent content creator, you don't have human resources, you don't have a direct manager, you have to assume those roles in order to get a resolve to the situation. What does those type of resolution tactics are you going to employ? Well, if you don't want to engage in the physical resolve to the situation, you have to find another solution. And if it rises to the level where you have to bring in another party to resolve it, you might have to do that, because that is your workspace. You can travel all over the country, but it's still your workspace. And I see that even in my profession, I have dealt with someone I view as a stalker. Oh my goodness. My phone's turned off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. My phone was turned off. Okay, I apologize for that. So, and you have to figure out a way where you can get the best outcome and get the job done, the job you came out there to do. So I'm looking at the two people here that have been attacked. Both of them have been attacked by this individual. So I'm saying to myself, okay, I saw this individual in New York while I covered the Diddy trial. I personally never had an issue with him because it would have been handled right there. It wouldn't have went nowhere. It would have been handled right there in real time. Not after I leave the state. It had to be handled right there. You know, give it an opportunity to grow. So, and as a matter of fact, I personally didn't see during me covering the Diddy trial that these two individuals had an issue with this individual. As a matter of fact, I spoke to both of them. I spoke to Arman and I spoke to Nique. And I knew Nique came out to cover a trial. I knew she was there solely to cover a trial. She wasn't there to make friends, but she developed some acquaintances while she was there. So did Arman. But what I did see is this individual getting into mess with other people. Think about that for a second. You spend your resources to come to New York to cover a high-profile trial, and you're beefing with people. This individual, which I learned after that individual left New York, that he messed with one of my closest friends, a colleague. And I'm told that he even raised an object up to her. Had that happened in my presence, there would have been a major problem. It would have been a major problem with me and that individual, because that individual's boyfriend wasn't there at the time. And she's a close friend of mine. And we don't play those games. So I don't care if this person comes back and says, no, it would have went down right there. right there. You wouldn't have had the opportunity to raise anything. So raising an object to a woman is the weakest behavior you can do. Weakest. So I looked at a video that a content creator by name Conscious TV did, where he had this individual and Nique on his platform. And I heard this individual say that, hey, he wasn't, basically he wasn't doing anything. He was just trying to do his own thing. Well, what I know for a fact is this individual tried me online, but I wasn't around. I didn't know until after the fact. I didn't even I did not listen to the content. But another person told me, say, hey, Dennis, why is this individual saying this thing? Well, I said, it might be cuckoo. So you had to be crazy to say it online and not say it in my face. That's it. Hold on one second. Guys. Hold on 1 second. I'm seeing, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Oh, okay. Why did they text me while I'm on live? Anyway, I'm sorry. This is real time. So he's trying to explain and justify and make excuses why he's done these things. So I'm saying to myself, I've seen him do similar to others. He attacked an attorney online as well. And she is a content creator. And she came to the trial of Megan Pete and Malago Grams. She doesn't mess with anyone. She doesn't start trouble with anyone. That's not how she moves. So I said, now you're attacking an attorney. So I'm guessing that something's wrong with this cat. But I also believe that he's likely doing this to get his numbers up. But why would you use this type of behavior? Because if people are coming to your platform for a mess, then when you try to pivot from the mess, you're going to lose that audience because they just came for the mess. They didn't come for the real content that most people do to create varying audiences to watch. So I don't see this situation to end well for him. Not with those two particular content creators, Arman and Nique, but just based on how he moves. And I learned some things from watching that live stream that I didn't know. I'm not going to talk about it, but I learned some things that it's very interesting. So let me tell you what happened. This is what my assessment is. I'm just going to play one video. And I'm going to say it might likely be envy. And this is a video that I was very proud of Nique because her and I talked throughout the trial, and we discussed the value in her coming to New York. We discussed this. And then when she left and then came back, she was on the fence about coming back. But I said, listen, you got to finish this off. She had commitments back home, but she came back. She traveled all the way from the West Coast and came to New York on her own dime. So why would she want to engage in any nonsense with anybody? But this is why it paid off for her. And it has yet to pay off for this other individuals doing these things. I'm going to play the video. This is my colleague, Laura Coates from CNN. And I thought this was powerful and was worth this was the value in what Nique did.
about what they think is happening, but you were getting it. If these people had been part of the jury, they wanted you to know exactly how they felt.
Yeah, the way I approached it was I wanted the audience to be the jury, right? I'm just going to give it to you. This is what the prosecution said. This is what the defense.
So you have Nique, you have Abdi, and you have Lauren LaRosa on this platform, CNN. The same CNN that released the Cassie video before anyone else released the Cassie Diddy assault video. But she's on this platform. That was major for her. And then we have Armon Wiggins. But let's go ahead and look at this.
And said, now battle it out in the comments. And you would see that people arguing with each other, people trying to explain why it was or wasn't Rico, for example. And so I think people appreciated having that space where they can interact with each other and they can. And so for me, it was, again, kind of like what you said, like I came up through traditional media and I wanted to bring that platform in a way that was native, though, to TikTok, for example, native to Instagram, and digestible for people. And so in a 1 minute, 2 minute video, I was able to give them a lot more information, but also give them a platform where they can use the comments to discuss their opinions.
And feel a part of a community. I mean, one thing you saw outside that courthouse is that, and I'm frankly wondering what most people who have been there day in, day out, what they do now, because there were people who were covering it, and then I'm like, well, where are the rest of you? And what do you do when you're not here right now? And we we're talking about.
Okay, so look at those optics right there. Nique is on one of the biggest media platforms in America and around the world. So why do you think this individual attacked her and then attacked Armon Wiggins? Well, Armon Wiggins, too, was on several big platforms while he was covering the Diddy trial. They came and they conquered. Oh, I was on a big platform too, but I'm not going to pat myself on the back. But my point is, these two individuals came out and they did their damn thing. But the person that is attacking them, he's on YouTube making up all kind of crazy stories, in my opinion. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I covered the Elijah or Nature Boy trial, and there was a day, for those who watched the trial, there was a day, and I want to say it was the last day, where the judge revealed that she had COVID in that case. So I decided to stream it remotely. Every day I was at the trial until I learned, along with the defendant, Nature Boy, that the judge had COVID. So I decided not to go that day. And during that stream that I was doing, this individual was streaming my stream. He was literally, I'm like, why am I on this guy's platform in real time? I'm like, okay. no, okay. So, you know, because you needed a Rule 22. Nique had one. Nique was the other content creator that covered that trial. And not only did she cover the trial, I'm going to show you about real content creators. She was covering Nature Boy before a lot of us. And she basically had a whole series that she was covering them. And she had a Rule 22, something required in the state of Georgia, just in Georgia, where she can grab the footage. That was real content creation. She did her research. She did a series on Nature Boy. I learned from her about this Nature Boy story. So she developed a story to cover. So my point is, she's on a national major platform. She has more to lose, and Arman has more to lose by engaging with this person that, in my opinion, is a bottom feeder. total bottom feeder. He hasn't carved out a lane for himself. And if he thinks attacking content creators is going to take him to the next level, the next level could be up or it could be down. So my point is, you cannot give these bottom feeders your energy. I'm only talking about this right now. I don't give a damn about the situation as far as this individual after this. He can cry, scream, whatever you want to do. Because he was actually going to be in my documentary for the trial. But that's done. Can't have you messy Marvin in anything I have to do. I can't elevate the nonsense unless he has a I don't know. I can't really. I can't. I'm a pass on that one. That's a hard pass for me. But my point is, you cannot allow these type of people to take away your shine. And I have been guilty of that myself. I was guilty of that. I allowed an individual that wears a dress. Well, two individuals wear dresses. One is a man, one is a woman. They get under my skin. But then, as I watch another content creator do their analysis, or several do the analysis on these two individuals, I say, wait, why am I wasting my time with these non-factors? And I'm like, it's not good for the brand at all. And I see even some of the biggest content creators now had to go through that battlefield of sorts. But they decided, they made a conscious decision not to talk about those people or even give them a platform. And you can't give them a platform because giving them a platform waters down your platform. So when I watched this video here of and it's checked. I want you, listen, I didn't get a chance to see this until probably an hour before the show. But just look at this. Look at this here and see how this was very impactful for new media.
But even more so, I mean, everyone became sort of the armchair lawyer, but there was graphic material here.
Yes.
We're all women having to discuss and convey things that were very graphic, that were very sexual. And sometimes when you open it up to the public in broad sense, they want to return it to you in a provocative way. Did you experience anything negative in covering?
Oh, what? Yes. You get a lot of, because you're also talking a lot, there's a lot of sexual assault conversation.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lauren LaRosa from the Breakfast Club, formerly producer for TMZ. So I've worked with her in the past, and it was a pleasure actually having to work with her and work around her in New York. Always kept it professional, always kept it sexy, and was there to do a job. And she came and she conquered. So here's the thing. The space is so wide for us. This platform is so advantageous for us. For those who are really trying to seriously get into media, mass media, this platform is great. When you can see yourself on the big screen with hard work on a national platform, that's a great accomplishment. And I watched Nique, and Nique was, it was a part here that really touched me as well. I want to play this.
So when you're honest about not even opinion or how you feel, but just what was,
I really don't want to bypass what Lauren's saying, but I know Nique is part of my subject I'm talking about today.
Present it from both sides. If you present too much of what the prosecution said that day or what the defense said that day, it's like, oh, you hate women and you don't believe, victims, and you're a woman and you're supposed to. But it's like, no, I'm literally just giving you the facts and allowing you guys to digest what you believe, what you don't believe, or that's not what I'm here for. But depending on which clip they see or how it's cut or the time you give one argument versus the other, you get a lot of negative comments because of the type of sensitive things that you're covering. People want you to be overly sensitive to what they think you should be sensitive to, but what you find is that when you're in that courtroom, there's no way to be sensitive to a certain extent because it's so graphic. And in order for you to really make your audience understand and digest what you're hearing and seeing so they can understand what your thought process is, you have to kind of put it all out there a bit. And that gets challenging because people either don't like that or they just feel like you're not giving enough platform for certain conversations.
They think it's an audience of one and you're tailoring everything to them. And you're like, I'm talking to everyone, you're included. Nique, let me end with you on this point because I wonder, was there a moment that will stick with you and resonate from what you saw either inside the courtroom or from what you experienced outside?
I think it was a show inside the courtroom, listening to the testimony and hearing all of the intricate details. And a lot of people got let down from what they expected to hear. A lot of people wanted to hear about like the celebrity of it all. So that was the interesting part of.
This is a great look for Nique. A great look. Just look at this. She's on a national platform. She didn't know that was going to happen for her, but she showed up. Nevertheless, she showed up. She stayed focused. She knew what her agenda was. And this has happened as a byproduct of her work ethic. No different than Lauren LaRosa or Addie. No different. So this was a good look. And those that are content creators have to applaud these women because they have elevated new media. They have elevated new media. So we saw a trial involving Milagro Cooper, and it was discussions about censorship and the right to be able to give commentary and do reporting without fear of being censored. Well, if there are women, these type of women have elevated it. The ability to be able to have it create platforms. So when you look at the bottom feeders and they're not at this level, you gotta ignore them. Just plain and simple, ignore them. And I offer opportunities for others to work with me so we can create even more opportunities for others. Just 2 weeks ago, two people that I respect, Valerie Lenore and Nala Says, to get on the platform with me. And guess what? That show went viral. It got picked up by everybody on the Breakfast Club and the other people clipping people out and everything. But the point I'm trying to make to you is if you're not elevating those around you and you're pulling them down, you're a bottom feeder. Plain and simple. So I want to watch this real quick.
Try to get to the meat and potatoes of everything that's going on. But outside of the courtroom, it was like a reality show. So it was inside. You hear all these details about Cassie, Jane, and all of these things that's going on in the bedroom, all of these explicit details. And then you go outside the courtroom and then you see all of these people arguing, line sitters getting into it with each other. Like it's like two worlds going inside the courtroom and out.
Oh,
I'm not going to play the whole video. I want you guys just to see that. That was powerful for her. And I'm very proud of her. Very proud of her. And you have to respect she put in her work. And so did Arman. I want to pull a clip of Arman while we at it. Let me pull a clip up of Arman. I just don't want to, I want people to say, oh no, you just pick Nique. No, I want to get a clip of Arman as well. Let's see here.
Are not aware that we are programmed in such a way that we are exhibiting
Hold on.
and demonstrating.
Hold on here. Let me get something. Let's just put him on Armon Wiggins. This is my guy here.
Control.
Okay, we are getting dangerously close to being knockoffs of Paula Abdul and Simon Cowell. Let's bring in Armon Wiggins. He has been in that courtroom every day watching this trial. He is a huge YouTube star who has been chronicling everything he has seen and heard with a big audience. And it's a different audience from this one. And getting that perspective, I think, is incredibly useful. So Arman, welcome.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here. It's an honor. So I appreciate you guys sharing the platform with me.
Arman, you have a different perspective of this. I mean, you are talking to a huge YouTube audience. It's a different audience. Dying to know how you have absorbed this trial.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Up until this week, because I'm in the middle. I don't hate Diddy, but I'm not for Diddy in that way either. So I'm here for what the evidence proves and what's right. And up until this point, I felt like the defense really could have taken it. But it was Capricorn Clark for me in her testimony. And I think that what we're missing, and I wish Ray J was still here, they are saying the same story. Everyone, even from Cassie to the assistants to Capricorn, yes, they may have went back. Yes, she may have wanted her job. But the underlining tone of it all is, yeah, we like Diddy. We respected Diddy, but he was a monster. And he always made each and every one of us do something against our will, whether it been Cassie, whether it be the assistant, whether it been Capricorn. And I think Capricorn arguably had the best testimony out of Cassie, out of everyone there. Okay. And so for me, I think when we say, well, Capricorn wanted her job back, I think it's important to note that this woman is a single mother. Her son has autism. She doesn't have her mother or her father, so, which means they don't have grandparents. She's got this high profile job. Diddy is running the industry at this time. And now how do you go from being an executive at Bad Boy to Target? You just don't. You develop a certain lifestyle, you develop connections. All she wanted was her job back. So I think she was at a point to where, you know what, I would even deal with this mess because I need to eat for my family. It's not about me loving Diddy or wanting to be with him. I'm going to say what I have to say to get the money. We can't act like Diddy doesn't provide a lifestyle for all of these people. These people don't necessarily want to deal with it, but they need some of the fruits that their labor, that working for him provides. So I can see through that, and I feel like the jury can see through that. Now, the defense is really great at causing doubt within witnesses over small, minute things like the glove. That was a good move. Like, oh, well, you didn't test the glove. Well, I can see them.
So, again, both of these individuals have been platformed on some of the biggest media outlets in the world. So it doesn't behoove them to even come down to the level of a bottom feeder, because they are on the trajectory of success. They're out of here. And it's painful to see people work so hard, myself included, to have to deal with the likes of bottom feeders after they work so hard. So let's not engage these people. Let's just not engage them. That's it. Plain and simple. And this is why I believe that Nique and Armon are being attacked. And people are hating on them because, quite frankly, some of them will never have the opportunity to be on big platforms. Never. And I think that that's eating them inside. And it just got to ignore the situation. You really do. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's important to protect your peace. It's important to protect your peace. And sometimes you have to move away from the mess rather than engage in it. You just have to move away from it. And let them self-destruct. Let them self-destruct. And that's what I'm seeing with this situation here. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you coming in. Go download Holiday Love on all streaming platforms. I'll see you on the next live. Peace. I don't know if I want to leave yet. Hold on. Did I had a question here? Okay. Hold on a second, guys. I can't leave yet. Okay. Okay. Mark Nash was good. Listen. Don't get yourself blocked here now. Let me put you on a. I shouldn't ban you. I should just put you on a timeout. Right. No real man hit a woman, period. No real man hits a woman or to attempt to hit a woman. It's crazy. No, you don't put your hand on a woman. If you ain't willing to put your hand on a man. Don't do that. You don't hit a woman, period. No. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, guys. I was reading someone's text. Yeah, you don't do that. Let me get them off the screen here. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I really do. Let's just end this the way we started it for the most part.
The Christmas lights, yeah. All I want, all I need is you. My holiday love. Here's to the nights we made it through. Here's to the dreams we're still holding to. If the world gets cold, I want your soul. Long as I have you to hold. Family.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Welcome to the mic, it's the Byron show. Breaking headlines, truth in every flow. From courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Byron